Guys, Michael Edward, True Trading Group. With this video, I'm going to go over a trade that we absolutely nailed in True Trading Group. We netted about a 40% gain on the trade from first entry to last exit. We did take some profit along the way, but all in all, total, we caught a 40% gain on NETE this afternoon. And I want to go over with you what we saw and what we talked about, because at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time, I did a live screen share and audio feed for NETE to show everyone the chart pattern and the trade setup that I was looking at, and the reason why I expected this to run in the afternoon. And I want to go over that with you to talk about what it is that I saw. This is NETE. This is a 5-minute chart, so all these candles represent 5 minutes of trading time. And in the morning, some people actually ended up catching it in chat when it broke above 40 cents in the morning here on this candle, and ended up running to putting in a high of 58 cents. I did not catch this. I was trading a couple of other things that we were looking at, so I personally missed this move, but a couple of our TTG members called it out and jumped on it and actually profited on this move. But it got my attention and it was on my radar, so I started watching NETE throughout lunch to see if it was able to hold this move and consolidate this action, because the stock was up almost 100%, going from 30 cents up to 58 cents. 60 cents would have been up 100%. So it definitely caught my attention, and there was a large volume spike coupled with that move. So I started watching NETE to see how it reacted and to see if it was able to hold that move. And what I started to see was the formation of a bullish pennant pattern. Okay, this is one of my favorite patterns. It's a bullish pennant. Some call it a bull flag. Others call it a triangle or bullish triangle. Whatever it is that you want to call it, doesn't matter. I love the pattern. And this is what I started to see develop at around 12:30, 12:45, and I went live at 1 o'clock to talk about it. And while I was actually live on chat is when we called out the alert at 47.5 cents. So after experiencing this big up move in the morning with this nice increase in volume, because volume is key, guys. I know I say it 100 times, but volume is key in confirming a breakout, confirming that a move is real and is sustainable, okay? So after this big move, you see the stock consolidate in this wedge pattern, making higher lows and lower highs as the trading range gets tighter and tighter and tighter. I said in chat that you were able to, as you can see on this trend line, the support that there is here, okay? And you see the higher low, higher low, higher low, and the resistance that there is here, okay? We talked about entering our tier 1 position or getting a starter as close to this trend line as possible, and we actually ended up calling that right here at 47.5 cents was the initial entry right here. And we talked about looking for a breakout of this pennant pattern, okay? And that was going to be right around 50 cents. That is what we saw happen right here, okay? Now, when we entered our tier 1 position here, we spoke about, I'll zoom in a little bit further so you can see this maybe a little more clear. When we entered this position here, we spoke about using this trend line as our stop loss, as our out, okay? So what you want to do when you enter a trade like this, using this trend line as your support area that you're buying in front of, you want to use the previous low of that trend line as your out. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to delete this so you can see it more clear. You see these 3 arrows when touched here once, touched here twice, touched here 3 times, okay? So go back and use the previous low as your out. So after this touch support held here and the stock starts to move higher, you can use this area, this price point as your out. It's this low right here. right here, okay? Because that's the last time, that's the previous low that held on that support line, on that trend line. Excuse me. Move this back. I just accidentally moved the line. Okay. So that's what we talked about. So we were risking very small. We were in at 47.5. We were risking to 45. Okay. That low was actually 44. All right. So we're risking a very small amount, and we were talking about looking to add on a break out of this pattern. Okay. So out and above 50 cents. We actually ended up adding to this at 52 cents. But the key to this trade was going to be the volume. And that's what we spoke about. We said, guys, even if the stock breaks out of this bullish pennant pattern, you have to watch for volume to start to increase, okay? And it did. Okay, see how the volume is increasing right here? When you do that compared to this volume, see how the volume is just low and light here, and then it starts to increase. This increase in volume was really the clue that this stock was indeed going to run in the afternoon. Okay, so we ended up buying more here around 52 cents when it broke out and above this 50 cents and broke out of this bullish pennant pattern, and then the run was on. Okay, we were talking about this trade early, around, like I said, around 1 o'clock is when we first started talking about it, and while we were live on the screen sharing audio, it happened real time, and we were able to capitalize on it. Now, I told people in the chat that I expected, or that I wanted to see people start to take profit along the way, because NETE has just historically been a very volatile trade. Okay, it can go up and down. It can make 10-cent swings, which would be 20% swings within 3 minutes. Okay, so I didn't want to see people get caught holding the entire position, thinking the stock was just going to go up forever. We actually talked about selling this in the high 60s. In front of 70 cents, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to take you out to a daily chart now on NETE. So there were two areas, two things that I saw that I thought were going to be an area of resistance. One, this 200-day average right here, this 200-day moving average, this yellow line, okay, right here, which happens to be 71 cents. Next was going to be this area of congestion right here, where you can see was previously an area of support before the stock ended up breaking down right here on this candle, breaking below that support. But you can very clearly see that this was a support area, okay? So we have that previous support area, which I expected the stock to encounter some resistance, coupled with this 200-day moving average, put our price target right around that 65, 66, 67 cents, where we expected the stock was going to encounter some trouble, okay? So knowing that helped us take profit on the intraday trade that we made. Let me go back and just delete these lines. All right. Let me go back, just so you can see things more clearly. Okay. So we were actually starting to take profit once this got above 60 cents. Okay, we said we were going to look for this to make a new high on the day, and it did. And once we got that extension move, everyone started taking profits. We started locking in profit at 60, 62, 64. Somebody got off 66s. So right in this area is where we began taking our profit because of what we saw on the daily chart. We absolutely nailed this trade. It was picture perfect pennant breakout pattern, hugging this trend line. Okay, you enter as close to this trend line as you can, so your risk is small. As it breaks out of the pattern, you can add to your position, and then you scale out and take your profits as the trade extends in our favor. And again, it was the volume increase that let us know that this stock was going to continue higher. Okay. You can see here very clearly this surge in volume as the stock was extending, making new highs compared to this volume when it was still consolidating. And that's exactly what you want to see in these types of patterns, is strong volume on the way up, lighter volume on the consolidation, and stronger volume on the breakout. That gives you the confirmation that the move is going to continue when you see that increase in volume. And we got that continuation. We called it nice and early. We were prepared for this trade. We saw the pattern developing before the breakout, before it was too late, and that enabled us to get in early at 47.5 cents and catch a 40% gain or 39% gain on this trade. So congratulations to everyone that capitalized on it. We had a bunch of people that were sending in the messages. Oh, just got, in from 52, out at 62, in from 49, out at 61. I mean, people were just pulling money out of this stock all afternoon, and we were all over it. So congratulations, everybody that was able to capture a piece of this 40% rip. Picture perfect pennant pattern, and we were all over it. Join us, True Trading Group, and start earning